Okay, we mentioned also about the difference between Saul and David. So we'll continue to a later war. Jehu ben Nimshi, had been appointed by God to destroy the house of Ahab. Elijah was complaining to God, I can't do this Navi job anymore. I'm chastising everybody. No one, not only they don't want to listen to me, they want to kill me. They've already killed many prophets, and others are in hiding. It's a really difficult situation. So God told him, fine, you could retire. Appoint Elisha as the new Navi, and anoint Hazael the new king of Aram instead of Ben Hadad. And Jehu should be the new king of Israel. Jehu ben Nimshi. Who was Jehu ben Nimshi? He was a higher up in Ahab's regime. Ahab basically rode in his chariot, and who was right behind him? Jehu ben Nimshi, apparently his the equivalent of his minister of defense, his top general. So Jehu ben Nimshi, for many decades, was part of the Omeride regime, and he was the one chosen by God to destroy the Omerides. Why is this very important? I think that he was chosen to lead this coup because, one, he had certain righteous characteristics and leadership potential, but also, despite his imperfections, which are mentioned by the Navi, he was on the inside. Right now, like we said before, many soldiers should know that there are certain orders that they should take to destroy the enemy and orders that they should not take. For example, endangering themselves or sparing the enemy. They have to know how to do this. I am praying that there's somehow, somewhere on the chain of command. I do not believe for 1 minute that the prime minister has the right intentions, even if good intentions. I think he has bad intentions. And I think that the minister of defense, and now they have all these other ministers, they just created a new government so they could have more groupthink, more Erev Rav groupthink making decisions for the army. And then there's the chief of staff, they call him Ramakal, and there's other higher ups in the military establishment. I hope that one of them somewhere along the line says, this is suicidal, here's what we really have to do. And he's able to take over control of the military and use that military to do what needs to be done. So that's why the prophets chose Jehu. Jehu was right there. He was the one who was fighting Israel's enemies, and it was very easy for him to lead the rebellion against the highest ranking members of this political military establishment and to turn it around. And it took quite a while. Just because Jehu took over doesn't mean that they were suddenly able to turn Israel's fortunes more. It took another generation to do so. But I'm hoping that somehow at least there's a Jehu. By the way, Jehu's not a Mashiach. He was anointed. That says he also eventually failed. He kept continuing the policies of Yerovam the first, and so did his own successors. That wasn't the best for Am Yisrael. So I'm praying that we could at least have someone like that within the system who can turn everything around. That would be a good thing to have right now. Remember, Jehu's coup happened in the middle of a war. It was when Yehoram, the king of Israel, had been fighting against the Arameans. Again, continuing territorial dispute. How many times did they fight over Ramoth Gilad? Ramoth Gilad, a battle over that place. That's where Ahab himself had been mortally wounded. He realized we have to retake this area. It's part of the territory of Shevet Ruvain, if I'm not mistaken. Or is it Gad? Okay, one of them. It was either Ruvain or Gad. They had to retake it. It took them many decades to finally do so. That was a problem. So this was this was the Gaza. Ramoth Gilad was the Gaza of their days. They never managed to finally put down the war there. And it was during this war when Yoram, at least it could be said to his credit, like his father, he didn't sit back and send soldiers into battle. He himself led the battle, like we discussed before, Motzi and Mevi, a proper Jewish king. Ahab himself got killed doing that. Yoram got wounded, and he went back to his home in Israel to recuperate, and that's when the coup happened. That's when it happened. So I'm hoping that somehow, once again, history is a sign of the future, and we see the rise of a new leader who can show the army what they're really supposed to do, and also basically incapacitate those who are the treasonous individuals who are currently in charge of the army.